evening and thanks for joining us. A notorious child sex predator who disappeared from his Vancouver halfway house is still on the run. Randall Hopley made headlines across the country for abducting a little boy more than a decade ago. Now he has sparked another manhunt and plenty of finger pointing from politicians. More on that in a moment, but first CTV's Shannon Patterson on the search for Hopley.
When Randall Hopley was arrested for abducting a 3-year-old Sparwood boy from his bed in September 2011, it capped off one of the biggest manhunts in BC history.
He asked to come home, and I said, you can go home.
Hopley served his entire 6-year prison sentence and was halfway through a 10-year supervision order when he allegedly breached his release conditions last November. He was sent back to jail only to be let out on bail this past February. The now 58-year-old was due back in court today for a 2-day trial.
It's quite likely that he had some fear about that court appearance, and that was a motivating factor in his decision to disappear. We believe that he took deliberate steps to disappear and to not be found.
Police say Hopley cut off his ankle monitor on Saturday afternoon and didn't return to his downtown east side halfway house.
He's a bit of a loner. He keeps to himself, doesn't have a wide circle of friends. We know one of his hobbies is sewing. We know that he frequents thrift stores. And in fact, when he did leave his halfway house on Saturday, he had told people that he was heading towards a thrift store in Mount Pleasant.
With Hopley's history of offending against children and not obeying release conditions, police say getting him back into custody is a top priority.
Our high-risk offenders unit, which is a dedicated group of detectives who work with the highest risk offenders, people like Hopley, have been working for the last 48 hours to gather information. Our frontline patrol officers have all been briefed, our quick response teams have been briefed, and we've also liaised with other police agencies around the Lower Mainland.
One person police didn't alert is the father of Keenan Hebert, the boy Hopley was convicted of abducting. Paul Hebert told CTV News he found out through the media, saying it's a broken system that released him weeks before the kidnapping of Keenan. Since then, they have released him again twice. Keenan is now 15 years old and living in northern Alberta. On the ordeal his son endured as a 3-year-old, Paul Hebert said, it's part of us. Hard to really put into words how we feel, other than it's a journey we don't choose, but still have to walk through. On Hopley cutting off his ankle monitor and going on the lam, Hebert added, 12 years ago, this man changed our life. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like he changed his.
It's been 48 hours. Lots of anxiety and fear in the community over the fact that Randall Hopley has again disappeared. That fear and anxiety, given his history of sexual offenses against children, is absolutely valid. We share that fear and we share that anxiety, and we'll do whatever we can to find him.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News, Vancouver.